What's up guys, Hyper Studios here, and today we're going to be doing a Aeronautica tutorial. But first, I can please ask you to consider subscribing if you like the content, if you like stuff like that. So, when you join into the game, you'll see a hub, you just join a server. Now here, once you join a server, you'll be more than likely greeted with tutorial. Just hit start tutorial, then we'll get into different stuff in more detail. As you can see, E to press up, and so all you have to do for this flight is just press E. You can either do this menu right here, you can use your mouse, you can use, that's more of, what's it called, a camera view than this. That's what I prefer to use, and then use W and S to throttle up and throttle down. We'll get into the controls a little bit more later, but for right now, we'll just taxi over to the runway. Taxiing a little fast, but that's okay. Oh, whoa! Oh, no. That's fine. If that happens to you guys, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Just trying to... here, see, we're doing our, what's it called, ultralight training exam. So, we'll get the license. See, 100% throttle for takeoff, so you can take off, and then, what's it called, carefully climb tier. But, for certain vehicles, we'll get into that later. But, for right now, see, we have a pretty decent crosswind, 9 knots, so, do you see that little, there's your main crosshair, and then there's another one right near that yellow little dot thing. That's right above it. That's where your aircraft is going to be with wind. That's especially very useful whenever you're in a lot of wind and you're trying to land. So you can either use the 1 menu and fly like that, but I prefer to use the 3 menu because I don't have to use right click and move my mouse all around. I could just use this. But for right now, we'll just do the tutorial. Whoa, that's a lot of people. So, time lapse. Okay, so now we're coming in for approach. A and D is for going right. You can usually just do that, but that's if you're the air. But if you're like coming in for a landing, do that. But if you're trying to roll or something like that, it's K and H. J if you want to go up, and U if you want to go down. That's only if you're like, if I was going straight down towards right down to the water and I really needed to pull up really fast, I would use J. But for right now, we just got to get a nice approach right now. As you can see, the airport's starting to come into view. Then we will be landing. Whoa, that guy just went right over our heads. But that's okay. Yeah, you can get more licenses, and then you can unlock different aircrafts. Like, I believe the license after this one is the single engine license, and then you can do the helicopter license, but I suggest doing that a little bit later in mid-game when you have jet engine. But we'll get into that into another video, because for right now we are going to do ultralight training, doing the grinding for single engine training, getting all the currency to get the single engine training, and then the next tutorial we will, we will do the single engine training and hopefully get a single engine aircraft and get much more speed, because ultralights are very, very slow. If you played like games like PTFS or Flightline, other flight games like that, this game will more than likely be a breeze. This game is sort of like PTFS and Flightline, but if it was an open world business game. So we're gonna slow down right now, then just gotta slow way down, because then I'll show you what aircraft to get if you want to go fast, but I suggest if you're doing the tutorial, I definitely would get the aircrafts that I would get, or else it may not be we may not be the exact same thing, and the tutorial might be a little too off. Basically, I'll show you every single flight that you have to do. But the thing is, sometimes you guys won't have the same exact flights that I do, because different rarities, like corporal flights, different cargo flights. So I'll just tell you of what we need, how much currency we need. We'll talk about the menu pretty soon, after we finish this right here. Whoa, that guy's got a huge aircraft. We'll definitely get to that point after this. We just gotta, it's a lot of grinding Aeronautica, but it's actually a very fun game. Go to the dealership, which is already going to pop up on your screen. I've already gotten a little too far, because, yeah. Then purchase this, and that's going to be the aircraft that you use. Then that's update logs, which basically is self-explanatory. This is where all of your aircraft is going to be, all of your aircrafts are going to be. This is your vehicle database, may be, maybe mixed up with your hangar, but make sure that's probably not mixed up with your hangar. So, now trading, we'll get into that later. Jobs, do the island tour. So, I already did that one, so ATC, not really that important. We'll talk about it later. Maintenance, basically after a flight, you can just do some maintenance on your aircraft and see it's not perfect, and then you buy fuel here. See, it's not 100%, so. Training, this is where we're going to train. Then loans, basically if you're in debt. And then settings, just use the basic settings, unless you have not the best computer, then just use performance settings. But, for right now, you guys just go do the job, go do island tour, and then you should get enough WP for the single engine training. So right here, single engine training, let's go. So we should be using a Cessna, I believe. Transport to Clearance International with 1 step over, which we can totally do. Guys, if you want to be the most efficient, it may not look as pretty, but just take off at the taxiway, because you save a lot more fuel. But first, you guys need to do that job, but I'm assuming that you guys already done the job and you have enough WP for it. And then WP is what you use for overhauling your aircraft. Like, if it's really bad, you have to just, if you're, maintenance, if it will eventually only go to 50%, then you have to overhaul your aircraft. But for right now, you use WP for buying aircrafts too. You use money for basic repairs, which we just said to the max, it can get you to 50%. And then fuel, it buys fuel. But also it can be used in trades, but we'll talk about that later. But for right now, pro tip, whenever you're playing, in an ultralight, and you're trying to go from one place to another, or a single engine, always ascend to your ceiling altitude, because you save a lot more fuel by that way. Hold on, let me try to find the aircraft that we're using right now. Let's say, I believe it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So, it has a service ceiling of 13,000 feet. So, we're not going to be ascending to that, because that would be a little impractical, because we would just ascend to our ceiling altitude and then just descend back down. But for right now, we are at a good altitude, so just hit the equals button, and then you can see your vertical speed will start going down. It's a very useful tool because it's super hard to get your aircraft in a level position without using the equals, because it's really, really hard. But also in the map, there's this very cool features. As you can see, if you're going to a place, there's bearing. So right there, so we have our bearing up there right now. We're at 70. If we go right there, we could point there and we would go there. But for right now, we're trying to go to Gaston Airfield. Okay, sorry guys. My recording software is going way on the fritz. That's why we cut out right there. But just finish the flight, go to Gaston Airport, then land at clearance. Here, you'll get a Cessna, or Cessna 172. We can dealership? Nah, we can't afford new aircrafts right now. So our training, or multi-engine, we have to have over 60 minutes of flight time, which is absolutely depressing. Cargo delivery to Hardin. So that's going to take 44 minutes. Oh, that is... Oh! But that gives us a lot of WP. Like, a lot. Like, we're talking... Oh, like, that gives us 3,000 WP. And the multi-engine is 7,000. That'll give us more than enough time to get but for right now, since the training is here, I'm going to go to my aircraft or my hangar, and I'm going to pick this or this right here and transfer it over here. Now let's go to our Cessna and let's do our flight. And here, now let's go to our job. I guess we could do that one, but that's a lot harder. Yeah. That one right there. That one gives us the most amount of money. But let's go. So we're going to ascend to our ceiling altitude, which I believe is 13,000 feet. But please leave a comment below. Would you rather have time lapses of doing the jobs and all the different stuff like that? Guys, also, if you didn't have the same aircraft or didn't have the same job as me, just get the amount of flight time for the training, and then get the amount of WP that you need, and then just go from there. Which won't be too hard. We just got it. But if you have the same job as me, luck is on your side. Good. But for right now, I would like to ask you to please comment, would you rather have time lapses or me just cutting the video after we get to the airport? Like a nice transition for you guys. Because time lapses are cooler, but they're a lot harder. So the videos may take a little longer to come out. But whatever you guys prefer, I don't mind. It's not too much work on me. So right now we are going to fly to our airport because we need to get big monies. I've ascended to my ceiling altitude. Basically, just level out by using equals, then just use A and D to use fine-tune adjustments. As you can see, I'm straight on a course. Ooh. Oh yeah, covert delivery to Hardin. That's pretty cool. But we have a lot of time. I don't devs, if you're watching this, like, why would a delivery to Hardin take over 44 minutes? Like, that's very long time. Like, I who but just don't worry about it, devs. If you're watching, well, that would be pretty cool if a dev was watching. But oh yeah, here's your radar right here, basically. How do I keep, dude? This is the radar. Basically, you can see all the aircraft, or not aircraft, airports around you. We're going to see Hardin right there. That's the aircraft right there if you're following. Not airport. I'm so sorry, guys. That's the airport that we're going to be going to. That's this. Right there. Yeah, that's where we're going. So now that we're definitely in range of seeing the runway. So now we can do some adjustments for going to the runway and getting a good approach, which we'll talk about in this tutorial. Well, yeah, in this tutorial. But I do not descend until almost the very last minute because you save as much fuel and maximize your profits. I'll show you the methods how I do that, how I do the straight down method. It's actually not a lot of people use it unless you're using, what's it called? What are they called? Supersonic transports, like the Concorde, 2707, Tupolev, stuff like that. And then the Aero ISBJ, I believe. Hold on, let me go. Ooh, yeah, that's the fastest aircraft in the whole entire game, unless you're a dev, which basically you more than likely have your own aircraft. But we're not talking about that today. We are here to talk about aircrafts on how to play the game Aeronautica. But see, you can hear supersonic transports. Most of them, like, see right there, it says widespread, 100% chance of 100% chance of being in stock. Let's say after we get our multi-engine license, I want to get a Antonov 70 or AN70, whatever you want to call it. Here, since it's 2% chance of happening, it's not like the Antonov 28 where it's widespread and you can find it wherever you want. We are probably going to do. Oh yeah, there's multiple different branches that you can go down. So there's the charter license. Well, not license. Basically, the charter branch. Oh, I think we're going a little. Then we have the cargo branch, and then you probably have military transport and probably with supply drops with that. I prefer. See, this one's an all-in-one aircraft, basically. It's cargo and supply drops and charter, so it's a really all-in-one aircraft. Oh, whoa, we're going over speed. That's not good. Alright, just hit Z for go, what's it called? 30% less throttle. But we're not going over speed, it's just our aircraft is shaking very vigorously. I don't think our aircraft is okay. I think our aircraft is having a seizure. This is not good. Slow, dude, why is this thing like having like a heart attack? Dude, it's having like a heart attack. What? Why is there? Then it suddenly just stops. Dude, this game is weird sometimes, but I still love it. It's probably one of the best games on Roblox. It is so much fun. But, oh, this has taken over 10 minutes. Ooh, McDonnell Douglas C-17 Globemaster. Cessna Caravan. Yo, wee! And now we just gotta park. Oh! Oh. Oh no. I accidentally hit a C-17. Don't sue me, please. Well, I just started uploading again. I had to return to clear... Bruh! Bruh! Do you guys see? Dude, I'm getting ripped off! Yo! Bruh! That's really annoying. Ah! But another time lapse. Well, not time. Sure, let's do a time lapse for this one instead. Yo! 3, 2, 1. Okay, you've finished the flight now. Oh, that was a trick. So training. For right now, I'm gonna end the video because it's been a while. I'll see you guys later. Bye!
Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and you make the GOAT happy. Thank you.